we're gonna get our salt. Some people do only salt. I like a little bit of sugar in mine, basically a 4-to-1 ratio. Fennel seed here. We'll also put in some juniper, which is one of my favorites, and I really just don't get to use it enough. And then of course clove. I feel like it just wouldn't be winter if there wasn't some clove involved. I'm gonna blitz this now, but it's gonna be fairly coarse. I think once it gets super fine, you basically end up just tasting the floral notes of this as opposed to having a hint that works really well with the dish altogether. Okay. Still has a lot of texture to it as opposed to it just being super fine. So next we're going to take our duck legs and just place them directly onto a sheet with a rack on it and sprinkle them very, very liberally with salt. Some of you might look at it and say, Jesus, that's so much salt, but it really, really needs it, and it is such a crucial part of this. So we're gonna go ahead and place it all over it. So obviously this is seasoning the duck, but at the same time, it's going to tenderize it. And salt has a couple of properties, one of them being that it's hydrophobic, meaning that it draws out a lot of the moisture from this. And that's why this is on a rack. If this were not on a rack, you'd come to see this tomorrow and it would just be flooded with its own waters, which kind of defeats the purpose at that point. So we're gonna pop this in a fridge overnight, and then we'll wash some of this off depending on how much is left over. And then we'll take them straight into this duck fat that we're gonna render out tomorrow. Duck fat rendering, this is what we're gonna use to confit our legs. It'll take a couple of hours, so we really wanna get this going as quickly as possible. Now, I'm gonna get a little bit of water in here just to kind of get things going. That water will evaporate and it'll basically kind of deep fry itself until it's all rendered out. So these are the duck legs that we cured yesterday. So some people just leave the entire cure on. I'm gonna rinse it off and then we'll get the oil hot that we just rendered and place it over it. So just make sure to use cold water and it'll come off pretty easily. And you can tell that the skin on this has really started to firm up. I've got a third pan here. So we're gonna take these and place them directly in. And then I'm gonna take this duck fat that we had from earlier and I'm just gonna pour it over it directly. So as you can tell, they're completely submerged. I'm just gonna add on rosemary and a little bit of thyme. And then I'm just gonna crush a couple of cloves of garlic. Just gonna make sure that it's fully covered and that there's nothing coming out of it. There's definitely nothing going in it. Again, this is gonna go in the oven now for 2.5 to 3 hours. We'll check it and our duck confit is ready. So you can basically tell by just puncturing right through it. I mean, it is really just so tender.